Okay, so this is the Dillion XL750. Finally got it set up today. Been a 2-day ordeal. Between redoing, making a mount for it, redoing my entire reloading stations. So I got my single stage stuff for rifles and all my now high volume pistol stuff. Currently, Dillion has, I think, for up to from 380 ACP all the way up to 30-06 can be loaded on these. You just need a separate set of dies and corresponding parts to do so. For the most part, this is a production machine. You're not going to be changing over every 100 rounds willy-nilly to a different caliber or a different bullet weight and charge. It's pretty much a one and done. It's just a lot of adjustments, and it's not worth constantly jumping around. You just pick something and you go with it. You do want to change stuff over. These are capable of doing so. It just requires a changeover kit. The changeover kit actually includes a new disc for the shells, a new shell loader, and you got to get new dies, and then you got to buy a new quick change head unless you want to keep undoing all of these every time and causing yourself extra headache and work. Basically, the rundown of the Dillion is you got your, I'll start from the beginning. You got your shell loader, got the loading case up top, drops it into Station 1, switches over to Station 2 where, Station 1 is the deep priming as it drops in. Station 2 is your case flaring and powder, and it also, you can see it has a auto primer loader, which is this doodad here, and every time it actuates, it'll cycle a new primer in. So Station 3, I got set up to go ahead and actually automatically drop a bullet in there. He's got to keep the tube fed. Station 4 will seat the projectile. Station 5 will actually crimp it. So I've got everything pretty much to where you just got to sit here and crank it all day long. It's actually got a primer indicator for the auto tube, so when it reads that it's running out, it'll actually sit here and yell at you saying, "Hey, dummy, you're out." So basically, that's a quick rundown of it. They give you this little handy dandy little wand to load primers with to make it a lot easier. It's got a pickup end and a dispenser end on the back end. Basically, you can pick them all up, just back end up, that you would see on the finished product. Come on. And once you get all those in, they will fall to the other side, and you flip it, and then we take it over to our fingers in the way. It's got a little clip here, so you pull this out, and they'll all fall in. And then I'll just replace it so that I don't lose the clip, because I know I will. And then we got our following rod, so we'll flip our little indicator on over and put our rod in, so that way it'll go down as we use primers. Next, we'll go ahead and load some shell casings in there. I already got some in there, but for posterity's sake, we'll go load a couple. And then we'll load some projectiles. Same thing, I've already got some in there, but so got all that loaded. We got stuff in there. We're ready to make ammo. So basically, you can just kind of follow along with it. So it loads our first in there. So the next step is it's going to get deprimed. So as it's doing that, it drops a new one in the little slot back there. So now it's going to index to position 2, where it's going to get a new primer. So we push back on that, and that'll seat our primer. In Station 2 up top, it gives you your powder, and it'll crown your shell a little bit, so that way it's ready to accept the projectile. All the way down, all the way up, we're going to deposit a projectile in there. All the way down. And then we're going to go ahead and seat our projectile. And then final step, we're going to go ahead and do our crimp. And then final step is it kicks it out into the spent tray. And so literally you can just sit here all day long, as long as you keep everything fed, and you will have an abundance of ammunition. So, as you can see, it's a pretty unique system. It's actually really weird for me because I'm used to doing on a single stage or a really cheap progressive where you got to hand load every piece in there. You got to go ahead and load the piece of brass, do the op, load the primer, put the powder in, and then manually place the bullet in there, and then seat it, crimp it, yada yada yada. And for me, just to keep going all day long, it's just really weird. It's gonna be something to get used to. But yeah, and it's even got a little handy-dandy primer ejection port and catch plate, or catch box, whatever. So it's got all the spent primers in there. And actually, there's a little chute inside that kicks them out. And yeah, we're with our finished product. So I am thrilled. I'm ready to crank some ammo out, and we will see what goes on. So yeah. Yep, we got powder. Oh yeah, we're gold. Yep, there's my primer alarm. So it's set to go whenever it reaches around 4 primers left, it'll go ahead and yell at you and say you're running low. So, and with that, we'll go ahead and we'll call it a